Hi, and welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. Today, we're going to do a product review on the Berkey Water Filtration System. Okay, so today we are going to review our Berkey Water Filtration System. But before I get into the review, let me give you a little bit of a brief history of why we chose to go with the Berkey and the reasons why. Well, when we chose to start homesteading and we chose to change our lifestyle, we chose to move out into the country, which means when you move out into the country, you got certain things that you have to understand. One is if the power goes out, we're not as important as the folks are in the city. So it takes the power company just a little bit longer to get out to us. So we have to be a little bit more self-reliant. So after figuring out that, hey, the well pump doesn't kick on when there's no power, that means we can't get water, then we had to figure out, well, how are we going to clean our water? So after many times of having to boil water, we started to look into other options. And that's how we found the Berkey. So we saved up our money, purchased our Berkey, and life got a whole lot easier the next time the power went out. So I'm going to go over the parts of the Berkey and then I'll give you our review. Okay, so real quick, we're going to go over, briefly, we're going to go over the parts to the Berkey right here. Now remember, this is the big Berkey. But most of all of them are basically, they all have the same components. You have a lid. You have an upper chamber, a lower chamber, a spigot, and filters. So, with all of these parts, how does it work? Okay, so how does this system work? Well, believe it or not, it's elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary. You have your upper chamber and your lower chamber. Okay? Now, your upper chamber can house 2 filters. I think it can house 4. No, it can house a total of 4 filters. Okay? And you can put your dirty water in here. And then what happens is through gravity, the water goes down. Well, really, it goes through the filters, trickles down the 4 spigots or 2 spigots, whatever which ones you got going, and goes into your bottom chamber. The bottom chamber is where you have clean water. That's where your clean water is. And you have your spigot and you can pour out your water. So that's as simple as it can be. You can go to your pond, creek, lake, whatever, mud puddle, scoop out the water, pour it in here, and then when it gets down to here, your water's clean and safe to drink. So that's how it works. Let's take a second and let's talk about these filters. All right, so let's talk about the filters for your Berkey for a second, okay? There is a ton of information that goes along with these guys that I had to write me a little cheat sheet right here. So I'm going to turn and read off of this because there's no way I'm memorizing it all. Now, before we get into what they can filter out, how many filters can you put in your Berkey? Well, in this big Berkey, believe it or not, I can put 8 filters. I can put 4 in this upper chamber here, and then I can screw in 4 across the bottom. Basically, it'll mirror these guys, but on the bottom of this upper tank. Okay? Now, these filters, when you're running just 2 filters, you get about 3.5 gallons an hour. When you're running 4, 7 gallons an hour. Now, we've never put any on the bottom, so I don't know if that really changes that much of the rate that the water filters through or not. Now, the ones on the bottom that you can install, they're more for filtering out stuff like fluoride and arsenic and stuff. Your upper filters, because those are specific types of filters that are different from the ones in the top. The ones that go in the top, the black ones up here, now they can remove things such as bacteria, viruses. It can take out internal parasites, just wipe the parasites right out. It can remove chemicals like herbicides, pesticides, some radiation. It can reduce heavy metals such as lead, mercury. It can remove the food coloring. If you put food coloring in your water, it can remove it. Bow. But it can, when it's removing all this stuff, it does leave the beneficial stuff that your body needs from water. The two filters, any two filters, it will filter out approximately 6,000 gallons of water. Not that many other systems can do that many gallons of water. Okay? Now, let's take a step back and talk about the food coloring for a minute. Okay? We're getting ready to show you that we did that experiment. We did it right here just for this video. We've taken a 2-liter bottle, we filled it up with water, we added the green food coloring, and we put it in our Berkey. Okay? Now, we've put it in here a couple of hours ago, and I'm going to take some water here, and I'm going to see if it comes out clear down here in the bottom. And then if it comes out clear, I'm going to take a drink and see if I can even taste any remnants of the food coloring. So I'm just going to open up my spigot right here. Okay. And as you can see, that water is pretty clear. All right. So what does it taste like? Anybody that's been watching the show long enough knows I ain't afraid to do a taste test. So, cheers. Tastes like water. I don't taste any of the food coloring whatsoever. Now, I will tell you this. It does have a little bit of a kind of a stale taste to it. And that might be from going through the filters. It might have lowered the oxygen level a little bit. So you might want to, in the morning when after you filter it down, stir it up, and that'll re-aerify. That'll put the air back into the water. Now, honestly, I believe every home on the planet should have a Berkey. Reason being is you can harvest rainwater and then you can still have drinkable, usable water for you and your family. We got the big Berkey. We're a family of 5 in a power out, grid down situation. When we go into the routine, we handle it just fine. Now we do, and it's mostly me, I do have to cut back on my consumption of tea when we don't have any power. I've got to slow down my rate of drinking tea because I can go through almost a gallon of tea in a day. So I drink a lot of tea. So when the grid is down, I have to kind of tune it back a little bit. But other than that, this system right here does perfect for me and my family. I strongly recommend that every house get a Berkey water filtration system so it gets the 2 thumbs up and a smile. So there it is. There's, let me add another thing. If you're not using this system, I almost forgot about this. This is another benefit to the system. When this upper chamber is empty and this bottom chamber is empty and you're just going to store it till the next power outage or whatever, you can wipe it all down clean, flip this upside down as you see here, and it'll sit down. The upper chamber will sit down into the bottom chamber, and then you can just put your lid over the bottom, and then you can put it on a shelf until you need it. Very simple maintenance, very easy to store, easy to put back together in a crisis situation to get yourself going and getting the water starting to get clean. So I hope this, guys, has helped you out. We want to thank Miss Janice for asking for a product review on the Berkey. There you go, Miss Janice. If you have any other questions regarding this system, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can contact us via email or private message on YouTube. I'd like to also remind everybody of Mom's Essential Oils class tonight. Don't forget to come by and check that out at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget, till the end of this month, everything in our shop, 20% of all of our sales is going to help Tommy Alderman over at Alderman Farms. And we're also having an auction to help raise money for Tommy since he's had that vicious dog attack. We're trying to raise money to help him with medical bills. We are going to be doing an auction as part of the Insomnia Platoon on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead. And like always, have a nice day.